All right, guys, we are live tonight. It is Friday, and as usual, we're doing the Starting Line Society podcast. We are live tonight with Mark Mickey, owner of M&M Transmissions,
Hey,
and Brian Lewis, driver of the Grumpy 2. Would you call it a top alcohol funny car there, Brian?
Alcohol funny car.
Okay.
alcohol funny. Yeah.
All right. And Brian is known from his pro mod days driving the Grumpy 2 Willys. And I mean, he used to race bikes and all kinds of stuff. And I mean, obviously, Mark Mickey is, I'm going to call him the king of radio racing, because
We used to be, maybe.
well, we all know Mark from doing wild things in that Malibu that he used to have. And actually, I built an RC car, an exact replica of your car, because I know Enzo and Eric are real big into that stuff. And actually, I think Eric owns one of my old RC cars. So yeah, we built an RC car years ago, and I made sure to put that body on it because my kid was, he's still obsessed with you to this day.
That's cool. Yeah, I actually have one of those cars. I had to get the guy that pro line that did those sent me one.
Yeah, that's where I got the body from actually. Which is
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for the 49 Merc body to come out, but hopefully that'll come out soon.
There you go. That'd be a badass one.
Let's get into a little bit how obviously you guys have been working together for a while. I know that M&M Transmissions was in a couple of your cars, Brian.
We had, we ran Linko Drive for a long time, and when Pierce and I and Jeff Holloway decided to move from the Camaro to the Willys, we put a Mickey Turbo 400 3-speed in that with a M&M converter, and kind of the rest is history. Then ran that combination for 4 years, then switched over to the alcohol funny car, and of course we used the Turbo 400 3-speed from Mark in the funny car all of last year with his converter. Then at the end of last year, Pierce wanted to try something different, so we changed the turbine and stayed her up and went from a 3-speed to a 2-speed, and here we are. Works real well.
Yeah.
So in the world of funny car racing, I mean, obviously not too many people get to see that side of it, but how many funny cars are there with 3-speed transmissions? I mean, that was the first one I've ever seen, and I've been around this for a long time.
I heard over the winter that there was 2 Chaos cars that had bought 2 Mickey transmissions. I don't know if they were 2-speed or 3-speed, but I know they were going to run this year with them.
Okay. And Mark, as far as the transmission side of the business is concerned, do you only do automatics, or do you do manuals or, Linkos or whatever? Or is it just, automatics?
Yeah, everything we do, we just basically do Turbo 400 based.
Okay.
Everything. We'll do an occasional power glide for, a friend or a customer, but power glides, that's just not our niche. Our niche is the high horsepower Turbo 400. And
okay.
Of course, torque converters. We do a lot of torque converters. There again, mainly the higher horsepower stuff, all heads up based. We don't do a lot of bracket race or stuff like that or street. And then our shifters, we do shifters, they're pretty well known. And then just a lot of components. Everything we do is just based around what I'm going to call the higher horsepower, higher end drag race stuff.
Okay.
So
all right.
And yeah, the funny car stuff, get back to, we actually have that approved now. We have our transmissions approved for an HRA top alcohol funny car. We've been working on that for a while. And this is the first year. And we've got a couple guys that are doing it. They just don't have the cars out yet, but they're going to run them. So
okay. Well,
we'll have we hope to have ours set up and ready to go by the end of the year to run the IHRA series next year.
Yeah. It'll probably be more IHRA than AHRA. It looks like that IHRA is pretty strong right now with funny car. Yeah. They had a pretty stout field. So
that was our reasoning for switching to the new body, the new 2020 Mustang body, was to kind of get it figured out next year when we go into the IHRA stuff. We're up to date with everything to get everything down the track. We had a pretty good first race, so I can't complain.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys did good.
You guys had a pretty good first year. I mean, last year was, short of a couple parts failures, throughout the year, just obviously it's all little stuff that happened last year. I mean, you guys were running for the championship at Chaos.
Yeah, we had in the first race of the year, we had a gear step break in a transmission, but wasn't nobody's fault. It had 187 runs on it.
Right.
And so it just fatigued. Other than that, we didn't have a transmission issue one at all. In Cordova, in the final round, we broke a number 7 exhaust lifter in the burnout. That was the only parts failure we had all year last year. Now, last weekend's a different story, but here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for everybody that doesn't know, you want to go into a little bit of detail about what happened last year? I know there was some windows from what I understand.
With me?
Yeah.
No, we didn't break a motor one other than a lifter last year. This race last weekend, we qualified, went first round of qualifying, won a 70 flat, like 202. And we had some 30-mile-an-hour side winds, so I stepped it off early. Second round of qualifying, we went 62 at 209, 926, 60 foot, went 243 at the split. It was good. First round of eliminations, went up there. We won the round. Unfortunately, when I put the chutes out and stepped off it, we kicked number 1 and 2 rod out of it.
Ugh.
It was not a parts failure. We serviced the car and fly it out like we normally do. And unfortunately, one rod bolt got misty and torqued. So therefore, we stepped off it. It was a catastrophic failure.
Okay. Well, that's, I mean, obviously stuff like that happens all the time as part of
It
racing.
does.
You know what I mean?
I wasn't upset. I just disappointed because, we have a fast hot rod.
Yeah.
We won the round. Eric and the guys wanted to put the spare motor in it for second round, but I just wasn't comfortable doing so until I knew exactly what happened. I have to make every round count. I'm on a budget, and I didn't want to put another motor in it just to put it in to make the round and not knowing exactly what happened.
Right, because you never know. Maybe it was, something that had to do with the car or the blower or something like that.
But
Right.
it is what it is. I felt I made the right call for our team and
Yeah.
my pocketbook, and the car's 100% apart. It's all the parts are out getting serviced and repaired. Mark sent me a 5.0 gear for the back of it this week. We'll get that installed, and Pierce is going to change the oiling system up a little bit before we go back out. And we're going to miss 3 or 4 races probably at the most. Then we'll be back out hitting it hard again.
All right. Well, I mean, obviously next weekend is obviously in question right now because the weather forecast in this does not look, super appetizing or fun at all. Hopefully that changes. But going back to you, Mark, obviously you had a very successful career in radial racing.
Yep.
You broke a lot of records. You got to race with some really cool people like Tim Slavins, and
Yeah.
it was that radial versus the world era was filled with nothing but breaking record after record after record. It seemed like every time you guys went to Lights Out or anywhere where they had an RVW class, somebody was shattering something. But
Yeah. Back in the day, that's what we were just talking the other day with some guys, RVW, we used to have 75, 80 cars show up, and it was a home run derby every round. That's kind of how it was. It was fun. It was not as, I'm going to say we were just, we weren't refined. We weren't polished. We're just a bunch of guys out having fun, beating the crap out of cars. Probably didn't know what we know now. But back then the cars, they were relatable cars. They were all, we had a 78 Malibu, I mean, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. We got to race for a buddy's Tim, they had a steel body car, and it just, back when it was steel roof and quarters, it was a lot of fun. And, we were fast. We weren't fast compared to today's numbers, but
right.
Back then it was fast, and just, it seemed like it was a little more fun than it is, let's say now. It's just, drag racing in general has just got pretty damn competitive right now, which is great. I'm not complaining at all. We love it. It's good for business and all that, but it was a different environment back then, probably. So
More so a hobby.
Yeah.
it was more of a hobby, more fun. We'd go have a good time. It was fun. Unfortunately now, you take like the Winter Series, killer races, kill it, but there's no fun at those. That's not fun. That's business.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
It seems like
So-
there's a lot. I haven't been to one yet, but it seems like there's a lot of stuff going on, especially when you're doing, what is it, 3 weeks and like a month and a half or something like that, or 3 races?
Yeah, you don't ever get that time back from your life. So, it's a solid week, but it's months preparing for it. And it's just what it's evolved into. It just is what it is. You get a bunch of ultra competitive guys. You put up a bunch of money for prize money, and you put some badass races. It's just the natural progression of heads up racing. That's just the way it is. But yeah, I mean, like I said, we've done well in it. It's good for business. It's good for, it's good for everything. Like I said, but it's just, there's no fun. It's not fun anymore. I'll be honest with you. So,
Well, I'm curious to know what made you change from radio versus the world. Obviously, it's a pro mod, and I mean, you've had some pretty cool pro mods. I remember you had the Superbird back in the day, the rusty looking one with the patina on it, and then you had the 49 Merc, obviously, and I think you had a little incident in the gold one, right? And then now you've got the black one.
me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. None of those cars were mine.
Those are Scully's.
Those are Sullivan's cars. Yeah.
Oh, right. You're driving the Camaro now. My bad.
Yeah, I have our own Camaro, our house car.
Yeah. The
sorry.
blue one. Yeah,
The blue
cool.
one. Yeah, the twin. It was a twin turbo. Now it's a hard charge car.
So what made you decide to go from radio versus the world to pro mod?
Well, so we'd run pro mod. We won back in 2008. We won an NMCA pro mod championship. So We had a history of pro mod. We used to run pro chargers for years. I kind of laid off racing for a little bit, business and that, and I got back with my buddy Jason Carter with the Malibu, did the radial thing, had a blast. We used to run Super Street and MCA, ran Radio versus the World, then got into the Pro 275, but we kind of got away from it because it just it got out of control. RVW just went a total direction of it's just, no steel roof and quarter cars. It was just pro mod cars,
Right.
and we just, my point, if I'm going to run pro, if I'm going to have a pro mod, I'm going to go run pro mod.
Right.
So, kind of just got into Pro 275. That was fun for a little bit, but then again, it started. The rule guys started chasing the numbers versus the competition, and it just got out of control. So we took a little bit of time off. Kind of just looked at more of a business decision for the pro mod. That's strong. Pro mod's really growing strong, and just did the pro mod car. We wanted to revitalize the twin turbo combo because that kind of got ruled out, and we kind of brought that back and more for business. That car, our pro mod car, Blake Housley built it, stellar car. It's won a lot, set a lot of records, but that car's main job still to this day is product development, product sales. Its job is to sell M&M transmissions, M&M torque converters, Proline Hemis, Harts chargers, Hoosier tires. It's weld wheels. That's its job, to go out and showcase products for customers. We're fortunate enough to have been in this business. This is our 30th year in business. So we've made a lot of relationships and, a lot of people. We're just fortunate that we're involved with some really good people. And that car is kind of our house showcase car, and to show off, to test and do what we have to, to get the word out about certain stuff. But yeah, that's kind of it. It's like anything in this, we're seeing it. All these classes run their course. Nothing lasts forever.
Right.
What's great today won't be great 5 years from now. It just
Right.
makes a big circle.
Yeah.
It's just, Brian knows, he's done it all. He's run a bunch of classes, and you kind of just go where the best, for us, we go where the most opportunity for business is what we look at.
What it's evolved into, unfortunately.
It is. This is all business. This is not
Yeah.
this is not at this level, pro mod, even what Brian's doing. Maybe more, Brian, I'd say probably the funny car stuff looks like you guys probably have a little more fun.
It's pretty fun.
It looks like it.
We really enjoy, it's a $150 entry fee at Funny Car Chaos.
Yeah.
Gets the car, the driver, and 5 crew guys in. It's 2 rounds of qualifying on Friday night, first rounds at 4 o'clock on Saturday. We have a good time. I really, really enjoy the series. It's a lot of fun.
Well,
Yeah,
heck,
that's
Brad,
what it looks like.
we didn't even get to make a lap down the track in Tulsa when I was out there last year, and we had a great time. You know what I mean?
And the thing about it, my funny car is Mark can attest to this. It's a pro mod, completely in a funny car chassis with a funny car body.
Right.
And that comes from, that's what, my tuner is Jeff Pierce. And in my opinion, Jeff is the best in the business at what he does.
Yes.
He's very good at it. We have Jeff Holloway's our chassis guy. He's very good at the funny car stuff, even though he completely hates it. And Pierce even hates the funny car. But it's hard to beat what we have going on with the Funny Car Chaos series and the combination we have, because generally we don't hurt parts. We don't hurt parts. The car runs low 60s at 209, 210. We have a good time, and it's really not a lot of work. But there's always that one exception.
Right.
But yes, we have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean-
that's what I miss a lot of it. That's what kind of our goal this year is. We did the winter series, and then we survived that, so to say. And then kind of looking forward, we're going to run with Midwest Pro Mod a little bit, because that's a good series. We have fun. We can go over there,
That's
and
great.
it's a bunch of people we know, friends, and we've known forever. Like you just said, you show up on Friday, make a couple runs, Saturday, make a couple runs, Sunday, you're at home.
Yeah, it's nice.
And that's a huge deal for me anymore.
Yeah, being home on Sunday is always a plus for sure.
Oh, that's to me, that's probably my number one thing picking a race anymore. If we can get it over on Saturday. So
that's another thing with the Chaos series. Other than the Tulsa, the Ennis, and the Mocan race, the other 4 races are Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, and Wisconsin. They're 800 to 900 miles away, but you're done on Saturday night. You can leave early if you want to. We usually like 6 o'clock on Sunday morning, drive all day, and we're home Sunday night at 8 o'clock.
that's a huge deal. Especially
Yeah.
guys like you and me got businesses.
Yes.
We need to be there Monday morning.
My wife has to be at the doctor's office at 6:30 on Monday morning. My crew was all volunteer. Eric has to be at his shop at 7 o'clock that Monday morning to open the tent shop. Mark's got to be at a job. We all have to be at jobs. And when your crew is volunteer and they're giving all they can to help you and enjoy going racing, you have to make sure they're home on time.
You're
Right.
right.
Well, that's one thing I love about Chaos. Chris doesn't want to race on Sunday. You know what I mean? If it's an absolute necessity, and I've been doing media for Chaos for 7 years now, and I don't think we've ever raced on a Sunday, not
No, I mean
once.
we had two rainouts last year, and we just moved to the next race, but canceled the race altogether. He will not race on Sunday. And that's nice because we can't.
Yeah, well, and like I said, I think that's a big thing in drag racing nowadays. Is the schedule is obviously a big thing for a lot of racers. Friday is a lot easier to take off than a Monday. You know what I mean? Because it's the end of the
Exactly.
week,
It
and
is.
it's not really a big deal. Especially being a small business owner is definitely having a more grasp on the way you're doing things as far as that's concerned. But
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
a small
Well,
business owner makes it a little easier.
well, it does. And I know for us personally, being involved in racing, Monday's a total shit show at our shop. So, because everybody's
Imagine.
raced all weekend.
Yeah,
On
Mondays are
Mondays,
always a shit show.
the phone blows up and, you're just dealing with the aftermath of the weekend. So,
Well, like our case, when they're 7, 8, 900 miles away each time, we leave on Wednesday night at 6 o'clock. We usually drive till midnight, 1, get half the drive out of the way, get up at 7 o'clock Thursday morning, get to the racetrack usually at 1 or 2 in the afternoon, set up, get ready for Friday, then haul ass back home Monday,
yep.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like that old adage from the old days in the NHRA where you got to race on Sunday and sell on Monday. You know what I mean?
Oh,
We
that's it. My business is 100%. That's how it works.
and we sell, believe it or not, we sell a few race trailers from going racing. I mean, I'm in the trailer
Sure.
business, and
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I've got 4 stackers being built right now for customers. I mean, does the racing community pay the bills? No, but it sure gets our business out there in the mainstream. People ask for parts, or if they're traveling. It may be a race here in California heading to a race in ISR race in Ohio, and they'll stop because they got a problem, buy a tire, buy a wheel, have something fixed because they know it's what we do, and racers will support racers.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. They always have. Now, one thing I am curious about, Brian, I know that you've raced just about. I mean, as far as I know, everything: motorcycles, pro mods, and now an alcohol funny car. What was the transition, or why did you decide to move from the pro mod to the funny car?
Well, we originally started racing motorcycles in 1993, and my last pass I made on a bike, we went 649, 205 in the quarter mile. That was 2017. Eric was on my crew then. And my dad raced Mark for years in the pro mods, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
dad asked me for years, build a car, build a car. So finally we built a car, and we bought it. We bought a turnkey deal. I mean, it was cheap. I paid 75 grand for a screw blown 68 Camaro. In my first race, I went 398 in it. That was in 2017. We raced it for a couple years, and then I decided to go pro charger in it. Raced it in 20 and 21. No, 20 and 21 with the pro charger. And Pierce and Holloway built me a new Mooney's Willys, and we raced it from 22, 3, and 24. I always want to try a funny car. They just looked fun. They look challenging. The funny car is a little harder to drive because you got to manhandle it. But on the flip side, as Mark will tell you with the pro mod, you drive it 11-1. You finesse it down there, but they're both fun. I just wanted to try a funny car because they look cool. And
Well,
here
they're
we are.
cool. They're cool.
They're cool.
Which one have you had more fun driving, the funny car or the pro mod?
I liked my Willys. It just
I like
That
it's
the
just
Willys
Willys
was
too.
cool.
Yeah.
well, and we
It's a good looking
we're
car.
running the same power plant as everybody else. Just the Willys body was 3 to 5 numbers slower than like Mark's Gen 1 Camaro or a new body Mustang or a new body Camaro. And I just got tired of going out there hanging the tongue out of it. I mean, I've raced Mark a couple times. He beat me. I outrun him. It's just, when you're running a 67 or a 68 with the same power plant everybody else is running a 62, 63, 64 with, you have to make a change. And at that point, we had been building the funny car for a couple years, and I kept putting it off because I had the Willys to race, and I had to make the decision to park the Willys and finish the funny car, or I would never race the funny car. So that's what we did.
Well, I know your brother Brandon. Brandon's your brother, right?
Yes, he's my
Yeah,
little
I know.
brother.
I know Brandon because that's where I met Eric. Was at Funny Car Chaos in
Yeah,
Denton. But I know that he also ran a pro mod, and then he
for years.
transitioned into a nitro funny car, which I mean he was pretty successful with. I mean he won a lot of races in that car.
Yeah, He ran alcohol funny. Well, when he was 16, Dad built him a fuel altered. He ran that for a long time. Then in '05, Dad built him an alcohol. Dad decided to quit racing and driving himself. They went NHR alcohol funny car racing '05 and '06.
Okay.
Kind of got tired of that. Tom Conway's building the engines for that. Well, Dad ended up buying a fuel car, which Steve Torrance won the championship with in '06. Brandon raced in that car in '07. Monday built him a new car, and he won the NHRA championship in '09. Then 10, they went back pro mod racing again and did that until 18. Then they built an actual funny car.
Okay. Yeah. And like I said, that's about the time that I met pretty
Yeah.
much everybody, Jessica and Brandon and Eric and Nicole. And I met Enzo. Enzo was like, I don't know, 3, 4 or 5, maybe 6 when I met him.
He's a good he's a very smart, intelligent young man that is like a sponge. He absorbs everything that he can and he will put it to use the next minute.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Well, I'm definitely proud of him and happy to see that he's crewing on the Grand Prix Autosport car now.
Yeah,
the top,
he's
funny
doing
car,
the bottom
or
end
the
on nitro
dragster.
car this year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
At
that's cool.
14 years old.
14 years
Wow.
old. Yeah.
That's
yeah.
impressive.
Yeah.
Enzo's getting it done for sure.
Yeah.
So back to you, Mark. Just curious about what your plans are next year with the Pro Mod. Are you gonna do any more IHRA stuff, or are you just gonna stick with the Midwest Drag Racing Series?
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much will stick with the Winter Series. You know, that's kind of an easy one for us because it's a 3 race in Florida. It's cold here.
Yeah, in the wintertime in Florida. Yeah, love it.
Yeah, we actually built a shop right 5 miles from Bradenton racetrack. Just that's where we keep our race operation in the winter. Plus, I like to be in Florida in the winter, so it works out. You know.
Me too.
Yeah, so we'll do that, and then honestly, I just don't have the time to travel, you know, to do the IHRA or NHRA or PDRA because they're just so far away from us. We're lucky we got Midwest Pro Mod. It's a great deal here. It's fun. It's local. You know, like I said, we got a bunch of friends run it. Very competitive. You know, and Keith's done a good job. Pays good money. I mean, hell, it's great. It's just a great series. And you can go and have fun. I mean, we're all competitive. We want to beat each other up and all that. But you know, Brian can attest. You know, when we were racing there, you can go and at the end, everybody kind of hangs out, goes to each other pits, has fun.
Oh yeah.
So sort of like
it's
chaos,
fun.
Brian.
Yeah, it's just a good time. You know, not everybody's there. You're not working on your cars till 4:00 in the morning and blah 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 blah. You know, because you just don't have to beat on your stuff as hard because it's hot and shitty in the Midwest in the summer. You know, and plus it's close for us. You know, most of the races are 7-8 hours away.
And where
it's attainable.
Where are you at, Mark?
I'm in Missouri. I'm in Jefferson City, Missouri. So I'm dead center of Missouri, just dead center of the state.
Yeah.
So we can be, you know, I can be in Tulsa in 4 hours. We're like, we got Flying H, our new track here in Odessa,
right.
hour and a half from home. We used to run Gateway. That was an hour and a half from home. And I think for us, if we did all the Midwest, the furthest would probably be Dallas for us, probably, maybe.
Okay.
Not Martin?
Martin, it'd be a toss up. They're both probably 7-8 hours away.
Oh, okay.
You know, but other than that, you know, like this year, we're going to hit the Flying H. There's 2 in Flying H, and I think there's 2 in Tulsa. So we can hit those 4 races. That's probably what we're going to hit those 4. And then, you know, just get ready for, like I said, Winter Series is coming. You know, I mean, that thing is its own animal anymore.
Yeah. Well,
so, get ready for it. So
I know Wes was I think he was offering up, $1 million if you won all 3 races.
Yeah, he did. He did $1 million. They had like an insurance policy, $1 million. You won all 3, and then Rick Horde, the new owner of Jerry Bickle Race Cars, put up a deal. If you qualified number 1 at all 3 races, you won a new Pro Mod.
Wow.
Which sucked for us because last year we qualified number 1 at all 3 races.
Gosh,
and I'm like, shit, you're a year late, man.
Yeah.
This year we sucked. We didn't do anything this year, but no, it's a hell of a deal they're putting together. Just, you know, it's just crazy what goes on down there. You got 80 plus pro mods fighting it out and bumps that are just what I think the bumps are in the, you know, 58, 59s now for 32 car fields, and it's out of control. It's just crazy.
I think the first race of the Winter Series was the first time in history they ever had a sub, was it 6 62nd
59
field.
with an 8, I think
Yeah,
was the
50,
bump.
59,
yeah.
that was yeah, Snowbirds
Yeah.
this year. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was the first, and you gotta say that's 32 cars running that fast, which is
Yeah.
just
And
unbelievable.
400s apart.
Yeah. And then you take the top, I think I was looking at all these races, you take the top 70 cars are all within 600s of each other.
Right.
It's
And we were
insane.
in the parity's close. I mean, look at the
God, yeah.
32 cars. The first 19 cars were centrifugal superchargers, 11 were through cars, 1 turbo car, and 1 nitrous car.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, other than the last 2, I mean, that's pretty close parity for 400s and 32
Right.
God,
cars.
yeah. No, the rules, they got the rules spot on down
Yeah,
there. You gotta
I
give them
agree.
credit. They did a good job with that whole. I don't think anybody complain about the rules at Winter Series. They're really solid.
I personally can't afford to race that series. I just can't
Right.
be. I can't spend 30 to 40 grand a week to go race it and be gone 8 or 9 days to my store. But I've
Yeah.
spectated. I've been down there 3 years now to watch it. It's something. I've never got to race it, but it's something else just to watch it and to go on the starting line and watch everybody work. It's incredible.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I
It's crazy.
I was lucky enough to go to the World Series of Pro Mod in Bandimere when
Scotty O
I
won
think Carl Stevens won it, or Carl
Scotty O
Stevens
won it.
was it Scotty O? Yeah, it was
Scott
the year
Oakes won
Scotty.
it
Yeah, it's the
Scotty
year
won,
Scotty O
yeah.
won it.
Yeah.
with Pierce teaming it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then I think the year before was the year that Mike Bowman won it. I think that was the inaugural
Yeah.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah. Bowman won the first one. Then I think it was it was Carl Pryor. Then I think Scotty won the last one, didn't he?
Yeah, the
It
one
was
I
something
went to
like
was
that.
Carl.
It
Yeah,
was Carl. It was all, those three. It was
But-
all turbo cars won that.
yeah. And like I said,
Nice.
it was great. We had a great time, and just doing it at Bandimere made it so much more special. Seeing as how Bandimere's gone now, but luckily they got the annexation and got all the paperwork approved, so now they can start construction on the new Bandimere Speedway.
Oh, did they get that going?
Everything's all set up. They got the
Yeah.
land, they got the annexation, they got the approval, and it was the town that they're at. I think Thornton or whatever it's called. It was a unanimous decision. Everybody said yes because it's going to bring
Heck yeah.
Why would you not?
ridiculous amounts of money. The amount of money that town's going to make, and it's not a big town. It's all land. There's not really a big it's not like Denver or Colorado Springs. Like I mean, it's a spread out town where there's not really much around. So it's gonna, like I said, they're gonna make so much money off of that track. The amount of revenue that they're gonna bring in should be quite impressive.
I love it. We want more racetracks. It sucks when we see these tracks close. So
Yeah,
anytime
absolutely.
we get a new racetrack, I'm 100% behind it. So
Well,
Absolutely.
since we're talking about racetracks coming back, obviously a hot topic on Facebook and the interwebs right now is the IHRA, NHRA, who's bigger, who's better, who's badder, debacle. Everybody's talking about it. I mean, obviously everybody has their own opinion, and I'm, the more the merrier, but IHRA just bought Atlanta Dragway, and they're currently in the middle of refurbishing and bringing that track back to life. And they also are bringing back Memphis International Dragway,
And Topeka.
which is, that's a pretty big deal when you're bringing back two of the, most iconic drag strips, that we've seen in recent history.
well, in Heartland Park, they're bringing back Heartland too, like Brian said.
Yeah, I forgot
He
about
bought
that.
Heartland.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
and he just bought Frank Hawley drag racing
I
school
saw
too.
that.
So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's spending
going.
lots and lots of money, dude. And
I love it.
From
I
what
love
I
it.
understand, he's got plenty of it. You know what I mean? With all those
Yeah, he
server
must.
farms
Sounds
and all that
like
stuff.
it.
It sounds like he must have it, but yeah, I mean, I know he's been pretty controversial, but we try. I've met the man. He's always seems great, but don't know much else about him. But what I keep going back to, guys, he's getting a lot of criticism, and you're going to. I mean, that's just when you're out there doing what he's doing, you're going to get people bashing you. But here's my take on it. We've never had somebody spend this much money on our hobby ever.
Never.
No.
Ever.
Not in
Ever.
my lifetime. I'm 41 years
Never.
old, and ever.
Nobody's done this. So we have to support and back this guy. I don't care what your opinion of him is, because nobody's done what he's doing for us. Period.
Ever.
End of
Yeah, ever.
discussion.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
however you feel about him, I get it. But hey, we got to back him. The guy's,
Yeah.
you got to give him, you got to get behind the guy, because, I mean, it's unbelievable what he's doing. I mean, unbelievable what this man's pulling off right now.
Well,
So,
and
I have not seen so many people worried about somebody else's finances ever in my lifetime.
exactly.
I'm
I
like,
mean,
it's his money, it's his businesses.
Yeah, I don't care.
Who cares what money he's spending on it and where it came from?
I don't care. I'm
No
glad
one's
he's
gonna-
doing it. Keep
Yeah.
spinning it. Come
Yeah,
on,
keep-
buy
yeah,
more tracks.
Keep
Let's
spinning
go.
it. Keep
Absolutely.
going. Buy them up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Come
Then
on.
you get the 8th mile and quarter mile debate, and you get all these guys that are gals that are like 8th mile is boring. That's because you've never been 360s in the 8th
Yeah.
mile at 209 miles per hour.
Well,
or
I
quicker.
think Mark's been faster than that though, haven't you, Mark?
Mark's been way faster than I have, and quicker.
Yeah, we've been, I think, 200 and a little over, 232 in the 8th?
Yeah,
That
that's my
is
point.
absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
232 miles an hour in 660 feet that's
No.
crazy.
From a dead
Crazy.
stop.
Yeah,
They're
that's
fast.
That's ridiculous. And that was
Yeah.
in a radio car.
No, we did that in the Pro Mod. The Malibu, we've been 221 in the Malibu.
On a 275 drag radio.
Yeah, a little tire in a
Steel-
3,000-pound car.
Yeah, steel roof and quarters. Like I said, it's just, my kid's always been in, and my kid's a huge racing fan. He loves drag racing. And, like I said, when you broke that record, he's like, Dad, that's crazy. And I mean,
Well, it
even
was crazy back
when,
then.
when old Tim Slavens in the Camaro took flight in that car, I was like, I mean, dude, these guys are going so fast in steel bodied, stock frame rail cars. It's crazy.
Oh, God, that was fun, though. That was so much fun back in the day, and unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. Obviously, you know how it is. You can't go backwards in this game, no matter how much we want to. But,
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and there's a lot of exciting stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of crazy stuff coming up. It looks like.
I really don't care what distance I run. As long as the guy next to me is running the same distance I am, I don't care if it's 60 foot, 330, 8th mile, quarter mile. As long as we're running on the same racetrack and the same distance, racing's racing.
Right.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Exactly.
If we
Yeah.
could win the race by doing the burnout, I'd be happy.
Probably
Exactly.
save you a lot of money on parts now, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Sometimes the burnout can get extremely fun.
Yeah,
Ye-
I tell everybody that's about my favorite part of the run, to be honest with you.
Me too.
The burnout. That's about the best part. So
Well, yeah, because the rest of it's work. I mean, especially if you're, I've never driven a pro mod, but I mean, I've seen people drive pro mods, and
I like feeling
know.
the chutes hit. I think that's pretty cool.
that's cool. Yeah, that is fun. It's all fun, but yeah, the burnout, you just get, I don't know, something about a burnout, man. You just running the, I don't know, just ringing the motor out, and that's just fun.
You
Well, I
running up there 7200 RPM for 300 foot. It's kind of fun.
Oh yeah, it probably goes back to high school days, when you used to do burnouts
Yeah.
in your truck or car. I think it's probably related to that. So
Oh,
Yeah.
watch this shit.
yeah,
right.
exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
so Mark, one question I did have about your transmission business. I've been to a few other manufacturers, and I got a buddy here who makes a bunch of parts. Do you make everything in house, like the cases and the parts and all that stuff, or is it?
No, we don't. We make a lot of product ourselves or in house. But no, we kind of years ago went with the approach. This is my approach. Like, if I take input shafts, parts of the trans, I go like the guys that make my input shafts are the best guys in the world to make input shafts.
Right.
When I get gear sets, the guys that we have make our gear sets are the best guys in the world to make gear sets, and on, our cases or whatever. So we just seek out the guys that are better, the best at the best of making that particular product, because I could, we could invest in all the machinery and get all the stuff we wanted, but we don't know shit about metal, how to make an input shaft, what metal to use, what heat treating and all this. And I've just learned years ago, I'm going to seek out the best guys I can find to do it. And, a lot of our product are made by companies that aren't even involved in racing. They have no clue what they're building us. In
Okay.
fact, we tend to try and go outside of the racing industry to have parts made, because I don't have to worry about them reverse engineering. I don't have to worry about competing against them, stealing our products or what have you. And a lot of our stuff's made in aerospace companies make it, and this
Right,
and that.
I
I mean,
could see
we
that, yeah.
seek the high end guys to make our stuff. So
Well, when
And
you're
it shows in the product because
Yeah,
the
when-
part
yes.
is
when you're
it's
competing at this
reliable,
level, absolutely, yeah.
It's reliable and it lasts.
Yeah, and that's our big thing. Our number one goal is, our number one rule in racing is safety. Our number one rule in our business is safety. Safety's first. That's the utmost. And safety rolls down to getting the best possible products you can find, best materials, what have you. And then the next, we look at overall value. This shit's expensive. Everything in racing's expensive. Our
Yeah.
transmissions are expensive, but I want to try and make it a value. You're getting what you're paying for, and you're getting a good value for what you're spending. We want our trans to run a whole season and not have to work on it.
I mean, generally,
That's our goal.
I'm putting 40 to 50 runs on one of your transmissions. I send it back in the wintertime. It usually gets touched up and gets seals.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's saying a lot.
that's what we want. We just want you to send it in, give it a little love, and go back.
And trust me, I'm sitting on mine.
Yeah, well, now that funny car
I
deal is a whole
obviously
different
trust the
game.
safety part of it.
Yep. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. That that's when I was a kid. That always used to freak me out when somebody was sitting over the rear end of a front motor dragster,
Well,
sitting in a funny car. Yeah,
Stroud made me a real nice value to go over my reed case Mickey transmission, and just because it's between my legs. I mean, it's weird. You can let go of the start line, you can feel the transmission move between your legs. It's kind of weird,
that's wild.
but when I get in the car with the bag on it, my 20 boost, I can't put my foot in the pedal hoop, so we don't run a bag. But I don't have to
Okay.
worry about it because I have a good product and I don't have to worry about it.
Right. Well,
right.
that's one thing with when we were working with to get these things approved for funny cars. That was the main thing, the SFI, and we everything, like, we over engineered everything on those, and
Yeah.
so that's why we had no issue. They're like, yeah, no problem, we can bring them in because they're a safe product.
And you wouldn't believe the people that look at my car and go, "You got a turbo 400 in that car?" Yeah.
Yeah,
You got a Suburban transmission? Well, yeah, I guess maybe, but it it's
works.
it's fast and it works good. It's reliable. That's all I care
Yeah.
about.
Well, and I have to laugh. We have our buddy Chris Snyder. They run that. Is it Brutus? The
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
Brutus
the old
funny
Brutus
car.
car.
Scar.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
we've had him in his car for years. And everybody's like, "What in the hell is that?" He was always catching hell. Well, now that we've actually got a number of guys who are starting to run them over there,
I think
just because of the reliability and the ease and the low maintenance, and
there's
they're
three in chaos. There's
yeah,
three in chaos now. Full with Brutus. There's four that I know of
yep,
now.
yeah.
And there was only myself. And there was only myself and Brutus when I came last year. So
Yeah,
we've
yeah. So
added a
no, we're
few to
getting
it.
more and more. Well, guys are seeing how easy they are to run. They're easy to run. We try and make everything we do is we try and make it very easy to run and very consistent, because that's what wins races. If you're
And
not
there's
right.
working
not.
on that shit, you can go. It's easier to win. If you're working on it all the time, you're not going to win with it. So,
Yeah,
but that
it
goes
makes a
with
big
anything,
difference.
with engines, everything on the race car. You
Yeah.
know,
They have to be easy to service.
have to be service, have to be reliable, and
Yeah.
yeah, and it goes long. You look nowadays, what we're able to do in any racing, how long all the parts last is just
Yeah.
insane anymore.
And parts are going to break. It's just part of it.
Oh, yeah. I tell guys all the time, every part on that race car is wanting to screw you at every given second. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's wanting to come
Yeah.
off that car, you know.
It's trying to
So,
push the crankshaft down to the bottom, and it's trying to
oh yeah,
twist the converter off the flywheel, and it's trying to twist the shaft off the rear end. I mean, everything's trying to come apart on it.
oh yeah, no. So, but and that's just a product. Like I said, I can take the Malibu. Years ago, back when that car was fast, we were winning. We tore up so many engines where we actually broke a motor, started the crankshaft, ended up on the racetrack at the end of the run.
No kidding.
Yeah, broke the crank. I ended up, when I stopped, the crankshaft and torque converter were laying between the frame rails on the racetrack. So yeah, no,
Yeah.
we learned real quick to fix a lot of shit after
Yeah,
that.
I
It's like,
bet.
but unfortunately, in most of this sport, we're kind of reactive instead of proactive on some shit. But anyway,
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned a motor splitting apart. They were doing that all-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive shootout. I don't remember whether it was one of Cletus's events, and
Yeah,
one
I
of
was
the
in
it was
Bradenton.
yesterday.
yeah, one of the
I
cars
saw
went down the
that.
track, and dude, he split. Dude, the rods and the pistons were all still
saw
in the
it.
bottom. That was crazy.
That looks
He's
like some 1960s Top Fuel shit. Is what
Yeah,
that
Yeah,
dude, he
looks like.
exactly.
split that block in half, dude. And I mean, everybody was like, "That's wild."
Well, if one of my Noonans do that, I'm gonna cry and throw up. So just so you know.
Yeah, no, that won't be
Well,
a good day.
yeah. Luckily, I don't think he was sporting a billet Hemi or something. I
No,
think it
it
was a
was a
stock
gas block.
LS.
Yeah.
Yeah, stock LS block or something. But I
Yeah.
mean, just seeing what guys are doing with those kind of blocks nowadays, the 5.0s and the LS motors.
Oh,
It's
look at
quite.
it's insane. Well, look, like last week, we're involved in a lot of stuff. Look at Texas 2K. Yeah, I don't know if you follow that, but we had
Yeah.
a inline 6-cylinder went 590s on a 275.
Yeah,
Eric LaFerrier,
yeah.
which is insane.
Yeah,
And
That's a
that's
then
mid
crazy.
one of our
that's a
guys, Brett
2JZ.
Lasala, came back with a Coyote and went 580.
Yeah, the
And it's
snot
like
the snot rocket, dude.
the
That's
Snarl, Brett,
that's a bad motherfucker right there.
dude, and those aren't light cars. Those are 3,000-pound cars.
Yeah, they're all
Wow.
steel. Yeah,
And I
yeah.
mean, unbelievable. Yeah, Brett Steele's a 300 cubic inch Coyote,
Yeah.
and it runs like that. And it's
No
just
kidding.
insane. And take Eric's stuff. That's a 2J, 170 some cubic inch motor.
Yeah, with
You
but
know.
the turbo is as big as the block is.
Well, yeah, that's 100. Like I texted Eric when he went to 590. I was like, man, unbelievable. He goes, it only took 101 pounds of boost and 3 systems of nitrous to do that. So I'm like, oh shit.
I'll
Well,
tell you that. I'll tell you the cars I like watching the most is that the import race they have up east
Yeah.
where they run those starlets.
Yeah.
They go,
Those guys are out of control.
yeah,
No way.
yeah.
They interviewed that one guy and they said, well, how do you drive it? He said, from the lane to from the center line to the walls, all of my lane, and I'll use all of it. I'm like, gee whiz.
Yeah,
They're cool to watch.
Those are super short wheelbase cars. I mean, going as fast as
88
they're
inches.
going. Yeah, it's got to be hard to drive something
Instead
like
of
that.
80, that Puerto Rican guy on, he said his car was 88 inches and it
Yep.
went 590 something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's a guy that runs a Chevette out here on nitrous, and I've got pictures of him, in Odessa pulling the front wheels up off the ground. But I've seen him, run mid-8s in that car, and I mean, obviously, like I said, going down the track, it looks like it's quite a handful.
Yeah. They remind me of the old fueled altered stuff. That's what they kind of
Yeah.
look like.
Well,
Just total out of control.
There's
So-
nothing like watching fuel alters. I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do.
I was
Yeah, those are crazy. So
I
I would
got
never
asked-
drive one, but they're fun to watch. So
I got asked this morning to shake down a brand new nitro nostalgia car in this next weekend. Only problem is it's got a 19-inch cage, and the guy that built it for is 5'8", 130 pounds. And I told him, I said, I'm 220 and 6'2". I ain't gonna fit. He goes, well, we can
You'd be
get you
driving
in there.
like
I was
a
like,
dri-
"No, I'm too
Yeah.
big for that deal.
Yeah.
be like getting in a junior dragster. So
Yeah, I couldn't
So-
have got in that thing naked with butter.
Mark, one thing that I did want to ask you about the future of Pro Mod. Obviously, Jimmy Taylor, he went, I don't remember what did he run, like a 509 or something like that in that Pro Mod?
something crazy.
Yeah.
5.0 something, and then like 330s in the 8th or some
Yeah.
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. Unbelievable.
Do
So-
you think that it's possible for a Pro Mod to run a sub 5 second pass?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's there. I mean, you take what Jimmy Taylor did. I mean, they had it there. They just couldn't get it pulled off. We did it about 3 years ago. We ran our car quarter mile with Jose Gonzalez driving it, and I think we went mid 270s with it, and it was on vacation. I mean, it was nothing. As far as horsepower, we had shitloads more power to go. The main thing was the race car.
And
Those race
I've heard
cars
that.
aren't made for that.
Right.
Like ours, it was pushing the windshield in, pushing that down, and the downforce on the overall car. Like on that last we run with Jose, we just quit because the front tires had hit the front fenders, the rear tires had rubbed the tubs, the drive shaft had rubbed the enclosure. I mean, because just all the downforce.
It was pushing the car
Especially-
down that hard.
Yeah, 69 Camaro is not the most aerodynamic thing
Well-
anyway, but
Right.
and we just looked at it. It's like, man, we're going to have to revamp so much stuff on one of these cars to safely do it. Now, I'm saying you could probably bonsai through there and maybe pull it off once, but you're going to be lucky to walk away from it.
Yeah, you're getting into the
so
safety
he was
aspect of
saying-
it.
It
Yeah.
was saying when Todd Moyer did that a couple years ago when the car was done.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I heard
Said
that
the
as
car-
well.
The
Yeah.
car had to be rebuilt.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I know for a fact ours, and they were, we did. Like I said, we didn't go past 280, but I already saw it. I'm like, man, the car's getting beat to shit. So yeah, it's doable. The right guy with the right mindset, with the right race car, absolutely, because the horsepower's there. I mean, you take these twin turbo things. If we uncork them, they're 7,000 horsepower. That's what they make
Just the
with big
bodies.
turbos and whatever. So
The bodies
You got
aren't
the
made
power.
to do that.
Huh?
The bodies are light. They're thin. They're not made for that.
No, they're not built for that. Like I said, if you went in now, maybe that new Synergy Camaro or the new Synergy Corvette might be able to pull it off.
I saw they were actually somebody was standing on the hood of one of those and first got was jumping up and down on it, and the hood itself never even gave in.
No, Blake has one. He's building one right now at his shop, and yeah, that thing, it's unbelievably strong.
Yeah,
Like I don't even know how to describe it. It doesn't have any flex to it.
it
Like,
looked
I
good
don't,
too. They're
I don't know
cool.
how they built it, but maybe that's the car to do it if somebody puts their mind to it. But the problem to do that is it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of money, and a lot of time. And
We
that's
don't
hard
all
to
have
come
that.
with. You get a guy with a lot of money, he ain't got a lot of time, or
Right.
vice
Yeah.
versa. You start going around there. So it's tough. I mean, you look like what Jimmy and them did. I mean, I think they camped out the track for like 3 or 4 weeks
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So which is unbelievable. I mean, I'm jealous. I wish I could
I
do
can't
it,
do it.
but I can't do it.
I can't do it either.
And there's very few people that can. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
A lot of people got time, but they ain't don't have enough
there you
money.
go.
But a lot of people got
And Carl,
lots of money, but not enough time.
That's
and
the
Carl does
problem.
a good
Yeah.
job.
So
Yeah.
Carl does a good job at tuning, and he knows that stuff. Carl does, and
yeah.
obviously JT does a good job of driving. But like you said, you got time, you got money, and you got work. It's hard to get all three of those to line up to do it.
Right.
Well, and the payoff at the end, there's no payoff.
No, it's
Right.
bragging.
You're gonna get a high five from a bunch of guys. You're gonna get a little media coverage, but then, and I'm not saying this negative, but we harp on this. Records are meant to be broken. Everybody forgets about records. You know, we always chase wins and championships because those are yours no matter what happens. However, they never go away.
I'm chasing going home without the car leaking oil and me not bleeding. That's what I'm chasing.
Well, yeah, that's true. Exactly. Yeah. That I know my now anymore. If we reload the car and the trailer and it's still in one piece, that's a win some days for us. So, but
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
But,
Well, we're getting ready to end the show here, but we usually like to ask drivers what their favorite tracks are. Tracks that they've been to throughout their lifetime. So we'll start with you, Brian. What is your favorite track that you've ever been to?
I probably prefer Memphis over any of them. I like Memphis. Always have.
Okay.
I don't know why. I won my first drag bike race there in the late '90s, and I've been fast there. And I don't know. I just like the track. You can't leave your shit unlocked if you go to the starting line
not
because
Memphis. No.
you're liable to come back with no pro jacks and no toolbox. But
Yeah.
I like the track itself.
That sounds like Albuquerque.
Oh yeah, I've never been to Albuquerque, but yeah,
Me
Memphis
either.
was rough back in the day. So
What about you, Mark? What's your favorite track you've ever been at?
probably my favorite I've ever been would be it's local Gateway. That's been my home track for a long time.
Okay.
I love Gateway. We've won so many races there. My number two would be, of course, I'm partial Flying H Odessa.
That'd be my number two.
For facility, that's the best facility I've ever run at. And then probably third would be Bradenton. Bradenton's, I don't know, when you roll into Bradenton's got something special nobody else has. When you roll in there, you're in Florida. You're usually there. It's cold as shit here. So, it's warm and they treat you nice and take good care of you there. But like I said, overall Gateway, we've been fortunate to win a lot of races up there. So we always run good at Gateway.
Well, I'm glad that you speak highly of a Flying H because me and my buddy Paul have a top dragster, and a Flying H I think is on the schedule this year. And then we're also going to run the IHRA race in Heartland Park, Topeka. So we're excited to come out to.
I ain't never been on a track smoother than Flying H.
Yeah, Flying H is the smoothest track ever.
First pass
I don't
I
give
ever
a
made
shit
down-
what you say.
First pass I ever made down that track on Thursday afternoon. Jeff Pierce wasn't there yet. He goes, just get out there and run a 330 foot like we always do. Click it off. Of course, I didn't listen. It left, went in high gear. It was smooth. I'm like, okay, I'll click it off 400 foot. Well, 400 foot came. 660 came. It went a 69 at like 205 the first hit. Jeff called and said, I thought you were going to click it off. I said, it was smooth and it felt good. Yeah, of course, I didn't listen like I should have, but that track is so smooth.
It is. You'll love it there. That place is phenomenal.
We're definitely looking forward to running. And Brian, we're also going to come run one of the Midwest Drag Racing Series in Tulsa. So,
well, you'll love Tulsa's good. I love Tulsa too. That's
every time I go to Tulsa, it rains, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
Not just like part of the time. Like when I get there, it rains, and then by the time I leave, it's still raining.
Yeah,
it
rains a lot in Tulsa.
I did not have a good time in Tulsa. Except for hanging out with Brian. That was fun and getting to see Enzo and all those guys.
Well, last Thursday, it was 92 degrees during testing, and first round of qualifying, it was 58 and 30-mile-an-hour south winds.
Man, what a massive temperature swing. Good
Lord. It was first round of qualifying. It was 320 foot of air, 22-mile-an-hour sustained winds, 30-mile-an-hour crosswinds from the south, and I think it was 12 water drains. And
Tuner did it.
40 foot of, yeah.
Tuner's got that makes the tuner work his ass off.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had a 28 main jet in it. What's that tell you?
Yeah.
I had to go borrow a 25 for second round of qualifying. I had to borrow one.
Wow.
All right. Well, it's been a great episode, guys. I appreciate both of y'all guys coming on. And this has been the Starting Line Society. I'm Paul. That's Brian, and that's Mark Mickey. And you guys have a wonderful. Just a real quick heads up, we're supposed to do SLS live from Chaos next weekend, but weather forecast doesn't look so hot. I'm not sure. We'll find out Tuesday if we go or not. If not, we'll try to plan something random for next week or something like that. But yeah, thanks guys for coming on. And like I said, this has been the Starting Line Society podcast, and we'll see you guys next week.
Thank you guys.
See you, Brian. See you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Thanks,